That's a new. Ooh, it's FRIMPONG. Yes, that's a new.
Mix 100.9 FM Suni. Na ene eye dwada na obubo busumi ne de toso aduonu baako. Afi MP no aduonu enan. Na yetena ase aye free neat 100.9 FM so. Me man ti dwumadie ne de bremo. Adwumadie ye ne de bremo me na me di ho chia me frame a ADAKABRI mudu osioma. Na me senior co-character me offer ase prekopek majari say ajima
wofenio me wofenie
so ana ohima kwefriye enso so no na otuato na production de ni nyina sipanyini kwadwo de amado ne naso as usual panyini ya na ahyehyɛ na oye the proud owner of the contents of this show na me offer se majero sajman ebo ni chidom ohima kwefriye so na service mranti kwa mienu na yemfa seda so emfama technical production abna frema abankro wane nana ya asafo ehwe ema ya interactive with all listeners on social media handles ahodo ni nyina ebaje press ni etimi akenkan comments awode efa Facebook ede ebaye ansane ye de aseda ede ama engineering team no achu agbo worker kotiako na jare na boaje adasankroma ye saremra ne se sempro na facilities team no so ede big solo ena dada ena Godfred ai dodo no afrɛ no Ubrana ena yaw na face Sami na Mapuna na DJ Bosco na Mills so asadmra ne se tetai na ho se bibia e de ekoso se kama and then some no doso some no doso papa
it seems so there's so be a while do
akoye mrehwe bedwam nsensem na de ye afrafrantom movement
ekopie kumase
o makopie kumase na edom a etigu montene so isi ano no chese battleground no asante emunsam ebepie na yetimi adwendwene ho na ansa na empenfo ebeba no ya ma obi akwanya so na bibi na oho a ono so de aba mini Dr. Baamadu Bawumia so ninsam kakra na me no betena se na me de ato anim
okay
nsɛm no deɛ ɛdɔɔso papaapa graphic ɔwɔ hene
yɛnɛ kora graphic yi asɛ mehu no
graphic no mehu no social media so
na
graphic ni hɔ no mu a ɛyɛ times wɔ hɔ times mfidie no so ayɛ clear ɔyɛ Ghana's most authoritative newspaper 48 days more ne ɛkɔto aba ɛna ɔde mfonini fɛfɛɛfɛ ɔbaa fɛfɛ ɛyɛ Chief Justice ɛyɛ Gertrude Arabe Saba Saki Tokonu na ɔde ne photo na to wɔ ɛna ɔde animu nsɛm no ɔsɛ aftermath of Supreme Court ruling on 4 vacant seats MPP NDC set for showdown Tuesday over who is majority in parliament.
Yeah.
And delegate is saying, or say, Supreme Court vacates Speaker, reinstate 4 MPs. Tomudomono ye headline specialist.
And yes, okay. Delegate there. For my headline there.
Baby and Saba Nediaja womu. The late baby and Sabo. We can no run in Pabwe and the Nasi and the 90 form. Or the headline by Basis here. It is a waka story in area. Or the Supreme Court vacate Speaker, reinstate 4 MPs. That's waka 7 Hey,
the guy no headline
state of where the armor. Aqua says stay of execution.
Execution, yes.
And then
vacate and reinstate.
Hey,
vacate and reinstate.
Sir, asemasie. Now what the asamwako?
Yeah.
I would require nanka a year BB and a yasha mra yasha was a quay and wako stress also oh Mr. Moon can't say a year and she said no more 5 years Juma
answer
on train
transfer
no. And only vacate no
vacate and reinstate.
Daily guy. Oh, Alaji Gomda.
And a man is I'm saying daily guy no more line.
Alaji Gomda. But that's why many who are clattered kakra. Daily guy and uncle when you clattered sir. Because nipa bed therefore no we don't invent majority. But we are Japs NDC. Foreign Ministry rubbishes $38.2 million dollar visa claim. And sa and kwau hine not distilled traditional council and Nana launches National Service Authority. Police refute Baker Vamawu assault allegation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 delegate and then for also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anymore clattered. Delegate anymore clattered. Simplicity no. Daily Ghanaian Times so I'm say any mono say na omo machine so ejina mu pa omo machine so ejina mu and the net there to say Ghanaian Times picture no so no we say picture ne da pa Arabe Saba and I just work try na nim na ja oku preach and no say we den ka rade nka pare me ai on say and for man almost lay preachers titru Methodist we the ICGC now kia now what you saying
me pacho me hoye me pacho na we
obo ade da Roma ye tia so and say the aba betena se and but first of all dem say na Benjamin Isari of the Trouble Constituency Youth Organizer MPP or ya ade bi oba me na mama dana se ama me akoda ketua kura next one utimi hwe panyin anim etimi che panyin ade a e sa akola no nya ba bi si da ache a obehwe panyin papa ya de papa oyade
ofenne
ade na ade
I say last time yes what ya dey sir
oh sir
but
so we me panyin ni ma me kan ka mo kan ma me TV so ya kan wa hwe a he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, say I least expected say young man of that sort or no beba no akas offer. This mean to buaka kreni. And I say, hey, on to buaka kreni sir. I say he did very well.
Yeah.
And say if I'm allowed to mention it, he did very well.
You are not allowed.
I'm allowed to mention it. Why did? Because why are they money me fair? What find people pushing butuma or the my feed me me did to one actually now because no one trust you actually. Actually na me kai say I said me offer see the people be shame me some. I mean quite me be 400 cities plus $100 $100. No, so that is he meant to give me a year 2,000. Into Benasari, Yamin Shrawatiana. Because Sakit was simple and no walk of a way the Abesham in someone. It means he says when your baby see and to wait, Aqualan to announce an album bonfire man. Also, an album bonfire and a trouble constituency youth organizer of the MPP. And Esther Fire, a chairman in Shiasu constituency NDC. Also, Frasante, Afaya Mwababi Drew, but two of them, Fifio for Yata, Mapo, and everybody has Mila Cosnabo, and yet the money is here. I saw him.
I can never forget.
I can never forget.
Michelle Lacos, ne Fenny Adrian, and then the papa, Eja. Hey, yeah,
dear papa. Nti a China parliament there na wo hwese besi ho maji
acha me hwe anim se bibia besi ho ya me hwa ne so bia be kono akotena ba bi otena because Supreme Court akasa or system of execution or less so be be ka chem say the Supreme Court akana wo mo fan ye adwuma de and I say eno matantan bi na bibi esi ye no e bia na bia sense bia no so ye pese betu because e bisi bia ma this time Ghana for ye be lead demonstration against them eti Supreme Court akasa state of execution one more fanya adwuma if say lawyers no be kire say bibi sa ba how is it like nti me I'm not expecting say bibi on top with BC parliament watch na mejime di say nei owura ma yarega also or twen one more twen say official communique e be free speaker wa ba sa communique ne bana speaker ka say state of execution year juma it means one more abide by speaker name some obeka but apart from that the woman na ho e ma woman koka say ebiobi and according to state of execution and for that matter no they will abide by it one more change speaker no the communique official communique on the and let's hope for better and me no I'm not expecting anything on toward me expect so china Parliament will be cool. Be cool. Earlier, I see on one say, okay, as I'm not going to be a court. Say a copy of court, that's the I see a dim so the court I can only see the age. But apart from that, no, na maintain one say, be say in the Sadia no, a woman say, it may be no, maybe a CC or no, time, papa. A year time, pa, we are telling them directly because we have so no man so. Into what now more corner, Omunim Ranoso, no more cotton, no more yet, my Yanni Twaba mom, woman need to maintain. We give them that power. Into what no more corner, one more corner, because young person no matter any be. Why will be a new baby will be at name tag is your. My finding out, may answer me back, my final name tag is baby will be as is change. Unless say ebedu ochina no panoma change dia but obi a baby obi a tene ne di mo the constituency mo eti kwada kwotena achire eti obi a kwotena ni baby a ne di woni entie dia court at the moment na court na kasa say there should be a state of execution said them renim for ne beka no of a me gidi say yendi samra no so ne yemfa ye even though many dia e course so MPP for na womani abra omo ye no me na me no omo ya adwen wo no mani bebre almost 98% me no omo ya adwen me no omo ya adwen kra but this time na akọ Supreme Court Supreme Court na kasa no you obey by the Superior Court na yema bibia ko ye
e fa ba ko e court when you e fa ba ko na sotire e na enkokoko sre se yema ne nafuadu.
Yes.
Na yema speaker asemo kaye. Yen twensensen nafuadu. Nka nafuadu ni nru hono no. Nanka ebe spider na saa time no ma saa babiom akwa yi speaker na sutire. Ama fe no mo the new na fresh application ba I know the you speaker na sutire actually sentia speaker na de na oyeye no ensesen ko oyene sa ana obi okosere nafu adu no ana afede yeso nafu adu no fa na nchen indefinite enti speaker no onim ho hwe sese obi anim ho hwe de odena asem ko ya me ko bo okwan adu no yetie me masem ana yese menye se no wo se yama no nkonkon ho sa indefinite no
wa fa unse de woman ni se sensem kopie court anya second ye de gwaw enti eniti na court no wo ko ye de asem no bo wonte ho ase subsequently obetumi asan akọ no wa resort to the higher court ebe ko no say even supreme court na gaza emu no kra no okasa na sa wonte ase otumi call for review enti the american said they are working emremu no se bibi achi ya yemfa amsa amra kwan no so no emfa nkotene no
but eno na ye ase me dey ba from the amount say speaker na ye bibi o parliament and fa bi say omo ntia se ade speaker na ye no na emfa mra kwan nti oba ye no na obesere wo se mane nafu adu se speaker no ensem no ontwen sensen nafu adu
obesere ko okosere court no
say nafu adu ontwen sensen ana court no ade ni tumi say your friend saying a lawyer for no ankasa be kan say so moto ade ni tumi say nafu adu no kura de da bi ye de yatwen sensen kura edi esi ade e ba wo kan ni say de odi ko ya kope nafu adu na say be indefinite no ono wan san konko ka hwi biem aye din if is the no hwehwa ni say wo yanka asem bia na ye be kwa akoto aba na su atwa edi esi ano edie na be pese de yantie na sem no a ye no ye de akọ indefinite no anke etie die de odi asem ko ye na no hwehwe nafu adu no ka nafu adu na kire no enka efa no so speaker no ko be ko akọ na asem a kire court de enti a mesum ye sei nanka court na hwe asem ni mienu no abua ana sesi ya nafu adu no ndo ko
wa fa breaches ben akoso
me chiro mu de asie ni to me da me na me beka obi aka ko 10 days o 10 days wa o be 10 days afiri ho no no so 10 days ko afato nche my indefinite edi asie no ka 10 days no so a ka nipa kro no ko be sa akọ this time o akọ no ko be yi ba ko na sutire speaker na sutire na nko mu mienu nyina ko gina court nanim na nko makọ ka asem no right sesi ya wo see indefinite no ono nipa na odi asem ne ko wo san ko ye de biem do hwia ne saka because on person speaker na be de oyeye no e na see indefinite the indefinite ni age ato ya je to ani amfra asem na said ho na ye de akwa akoto aba na de course o nyina na so atwa but here must say omamu no be ebe sua bibi afri dia akoso no go wonim kina de be san ba biem enti ade no mo mfra asem no eni asem no ntentem eme ye nyina ye nhunu adisuade a judge for no be pronounce afri mu
But the woman say asem we na very urgent said ya ye no eno ane say said ye nim class o chena wo mo parliament no very urgent o chena kwa wo mo ko ye nim se si aye ka say meetings e cost serious MPP for your meeting NDC for your meeting they are speaking to the leaders of their caucuses what mrashe bejo for cost se si aye ka say enti yenim ochina decision ebeko but me susu say court no obibi a ese court no tumi ye ntem ansa na ye de ato aba
na aba no call ye no as me 10 days eduonu susu say enka 10 days ni mu no ye be hwa aka asa and the day na ba ye nti a ono se 10 days so ne ma more than 10 days I say ye indefinite
wa na me bi say breaches bi akoso ana e bi court no so no judge for no na wo mo nimdie mu na wo ma hu say wo ma na indefinite nti eno na say yetimi
okoko anya de wo pe na ye de ma
say the paraka 10 days
this is always the case and always the case sometimes
say be a minim
I say
sometimes you deserve more than
assembly akoso na me de sa asem no e beto George for manim amama hwe amama interpret constitution no
exactly
a particular provision ti afa no no ade ibo no say ansa na me de beba no speaker no atusa na mo we enti se mo ansisi no am twentwen so a
yeah
bibi betimi asay irreparably at the time bia ye dia asem ne beba na mo bedi be man no ne wasɛ no enti mo man ye 10 days 10 days within which ye beba be kire mo adekura akoso parliament enye enti 10 days ni mu no we no oba no wan kan kire speaker no so oba ono nkwa no akonyo no aboni nkura kire George fo right enti 10 days ni mu no afi na wo ko free speaker no edi atu nanim say asem sei na me ko bo wo charge ye edi a kire George fo no the speaker no so anya akwanya no no so aba no mumienu nyina de atentam so e wo George fo nanim
na ye
when
bua
you no kwasire 10 days no wo say wo 10 days no kura de memfa ma indefinite and the time we na betie speaker na no asem
wo fa no de e na magere kan me no me ne eti ade ye ntimi ntwese time we anase time we what you say but me e wo me ma dwen mu no metimi hu say ebia Supreme Court omo nsem omo de aba na ebia beboa because ye hwe gidigidi ni ade na ebia ba bekoso na ahwa na ye ntimi ntina
gidigidi bi bekoso
wo fa na sema ebi mu di omo say omo ka say enko parliament we say enyesi ebia na
ntina nsese wo ka say indefinite I don't know say we sick na straight away ni unu say this is the interpretation
ebia
not so sick na ye
maybe
am a crime medem ama we nka say minti asie nie wo gina ho na sempa na ye de beto wanim na wutimi buaye the same as amenity a obia de emra na be ye adwuma
ebete ne ho ase de mra ye adwuma
but say na kwa say hey na speaker ka asem a eye na na asise
and also ka say
the separation of powers so be enti 10 days no within the 10 days ni ma no oye prepared say within 10 days no obeye na hoboa e abe chirase no ma
chiro say ni say aba
na ka masi ginaye
Oba me yan hwa de we eye certified true copy ora feno marking ne release na no sike no
ade na o hwe free
yeah o hwe free court no na court no nsama wo mo kan wo court no Supreme Court no nsama no mo kan wo call the last paragraph or say in view of the gravity of the issues raised in this instance suit and the urgency of this matter, this court hereby directs that pursuant to Article 1294 of the 1992 Constitution and Rule 5 of CI 16, the defendants, Speaker of Parliament, and the Attorney General are to file their statements of case within 7 days of service of this ruling. 4. The parties are further ordered to file their joint memorandum of issues within 7 days of filing of their statement of case for the due hearing of the suit. Into timelines now.
I didn't know or coin or can say, Mumma 10 days, Oko Injan to be, and I should 10 days, Cabez Spy, as about to me renew. And the DNT one for the 10 days now, man. Obedient and China, and then I can national. So one waba, Babacas me 10 days. When him say, the 10 days no crowd, there was ye no, Yantimi and ya, obey me repeat it.
Wofa.
About that discretion, you go.
Don't you think, sir? No, so be able to rise and I will give you better another issues, and I will say,
God, you win him. I didn't know this mamma 10 days. And now, as some of kinds of see, and
timelines.
Within 10 days, nobody has had a chrono. And it is what the 10 days and what the Maya. Takomuni so many of my home, nobody idea, Obian and no December. And as a Siano, also, one fan to my suspended and the daily guide is a graphic at times is saying set for showdown tomorrow. On the annual report to bet me a situation. And the daily guide also saying Supreme Court vacate speaker, reinstate 4 MPs. As if say, Obi assembly corner,
Yabwa to a go.
Obiasu Yamu,
there be no crowd sentence when they say misleading.
Because I was say Supreme Court vacate speaker. Now, some misleading a year walk and not know how brown about mine. Clarity in you. It was be a cadope.
Sanity.
And in Cabani say no, what in the 10 days in man, and the concluding paragraph yakin kayeno. Ewa Obianzo within 10 days, you better now. The answer say any 10 days no eso na muntimi wie the sasamo ya what me call akasi ensan repeat him out if we say ya makwan e ma ne tenase a eno ma be say enti woman kofuo bi adwene ye omo say oh da bia e fan we di asem beba no omo di bimwa anya di papa mo man no One man can you almost say, never just say no crumpo. But a man can you almost say. Nasa Mano, Obia was up at 10 days. Other than man more than 10 days. I was some could be social. There be a 10 days. And now any other orders here, a be a court need deeming a fix.
Then you would understand.
Then you would understand. But when you are not so within 10 days, make me ideas as well. Nasa Minanzo, a Monshana speaker no, Yanchina Semino, and
saying for 10 days.
It is as some pan or true hormono. So, Munkoya, one of family. It didn't know no busa 10 days. Now, Yamani Chara.
Wofa, a man, I
get the phone nominate and answer.
Wofa,
I guess I get your phone send it now.
And I'm saying,
no, I'm out for your history.
And said, be Top Gun and Nibia, you must say. If
I agree.
The young can say, if I were the chia, move to me. Yanni Abbey, what am I trying? Yanni Assam, who ready for it was quite sometime nobody for. Now, what the agreement say a fabitrim said, I want to me a bemuda. And you want 9 minutes to almost some cocoa to order. Or my opinion, say, you're quite ready for. And see, said you see, Bua Samono. I was saying, without fine, not opinion who be being camp. Na obi enya ho nka bibi enti anoni anamonia enye ne pe enye china pe anamonia wo se yetuo na ye nyina hunu se George fo ene ye onyankropa na musifo ewo asase so
yeah
di diombe ye bia no wo se ye nyina gitum na ma obi nyina akura bi ase ana akura kuma bi mu enka se oh ye sa fa we die utie go viduma utie go viduma
abana say
aha say sabi one more madwini awuo aseye na omo efa bi na da bia no omo adwini bafie na omo ye adefo a na omo ba fa we sa fa we de enyansafo nko na wa ha na sa fa we de sabi one more madwini awuo etimi ka kire wo bia sabi ono soso atena se abo ne bra bi se nadwini enni ho na yemfa no nko ayasabia nkohwe adwenimu yade ai wono so na se na adwenimu eda ha obeba be ka fa we ho nti obi tie kura bi ase anu afa sa asem no wase yade nyansafo nko na wa ha ena chimifo na sabia ku omo fa we sei na sa nyansafo no da bia omo do masem be ko aseni bia no omo dibem no omo keso omo bua se time my kokwe ye no obi afa nko court ene e ma ne slide here Michael Quinn from so no ye no omo kan kase o but omo nyina gitum so ye mfom so eni ti se nenu hu nyina se o ade a ekoso no enya na obi aba kase
Michael Quinn time no kran a lawyer for bebre kan say Michael Quinn o ni se tu
no
yes
eti nenu obi dia court no a asemramu ebeba no ama sabiaku wo ma ka wo nkronkuma mu se efa we ye nyansafo no enu na erode confidence in the judiciary no bi to no wa twabi ko bo we asem na de asem we munya ja bone ye bo a o muntimi nibi mu wo court da enyansafo ne go ano da bi anya ntu okikeke kasa but eventually no sequence no etwa na imprint won krofo adwenim
Wofa me de
and what can Sandra Banafo na beka stop spewing ignorance ai sa no beka pokotie dia kanda pa kan ye se dia na ekoso a ebe man krofo confidence e wo judiciary mu akofom otie dia kanda pa kan ye da bia na bibia mo de be politics
da bi
ye nyina ye nya gidie e wo mramu a ne ye nya gidie e wo Ghana mramu a ebo ye nyina na aga se ye de ye obi na ekina ebedu so se bi na ba ya odimirika awoko no o se che mensa bonsu afena ma fenu amuka se engese song hey media o mawi ebe pia be bi atena amen kenka kakra de ba ya bo se na obi anyina mu magana o
party A party B
anu ano obi anyina mu magana Bridget Desare is watching with you and Vincent Kaba or say boss hard work Sandra Banafo, or say if Speaker Babin said he followed the president of Michael Quay, let's ask. this question. During Professor Michael Okwe time, the MPP party sent a letter to him, and he, Okwe, also sent the letter to a CMA for fair hearing. And upon response from a CMA, Michael Okwe ruled on. Now, let's ask Babin, did the MPP send him a letter? And also, did Speaker also give these MPs a fair hearing? If not, then Babin should never say he followed the president of Michael Okwe. And Odiabano. Babin was politically biased when giving out his ruling. This time, which is being played in Parliament, is a political game. If NDC thinks Mike Okwe ruling at the time was wrong, why didn't they challenge it in court? This is because it didn't affect them in any way. But because this time, the NDC is benefiting from Speaker's ruling, they don't understand why the MPP should now take it to court this time around. Since they didn't take the same issue to court then, tell McJerry to understand the issues before he comment. He likes putting in motion. Oh, come on. And he just said, when you can't be, I know what can I say? Watch him, do a crack man, King Kang. Good morning, Professor ADAKABRI and team. Watching you live from New York City, wishing everyone an informative and good program. Stan Dogbe, what's a good afternoon, Uncle ADAKABRI. Interesting days ahead in Parliament, regards. And then Yao Furi is Boatin is also watching us. Meshach Asante, as the Supreme Court has turned themselves into political group, which has totally diminished their respect in the eyes of the public. And whether they like it or not, and this is the majority in Parliament, and nothing can change it. And now, Stephen Lawe, we have totally lost interest in Supreme Court for their recent rules as far as Ghana politics is concerned. Good afternoon. Emmanuel Kwabena Frimpong, or say Speaker shouldn't mind he should stay his ground. And Meshach Asante, the two of you are not lawyers, so you should listen to ADAKABRI. Meshach Asante, can be ano. In Yama say, Yin and I bet you once. Adiana, Margarino, or Kaya dear, and you cried a Mimabako Cran or Kaya dear Sneme. As well, if your wisdom is deep, continue educating us. And Atawa dear, increase the volume, please. And a charcoal seller, neighbor. Was a good afternoon, ADAKABRI. My MPP's former General Secretary John Boadu wrote to then Speaker requesting fetch me. Okay. Please humble yourself and learn stop.
Wafa, yeah. Oh, there's a message in there. So I can sometimes.
Uncle be as emotional.
So no, I can't. Emotion on my kind.
I said,
and tell you, woman,
Debbie and Casaman, where can I no fasten or thick skins, me or thick skin, as me, Kaya dear, and then he is going to be the future in the coming days, the coming months. It is our skin, man opportunity. Na the Biana Nakuma Swasemano. Ultimately, he's not a coward, and you know. Nyawu betwra de na ka say yankan de de asie
Oba Kegamo
he's a coward and he's not a coward. Wrong. Abna Popone ka say was a good afternoon ADAKABRI. Victor Odwe was ADAKABRI from Pom. I think your current discussion is on a prejudice premise. Please, the court has timelines and or the buy also free na ka say who's free? Okay. But in my name, I didn't grab a fool. Also, watch me. I didn't do so now. The boo fool. It's as I can yin now. Achina, I did a bad bit. Who tells it?
What I didn't see that. Bibi and way betting me. That the Supreme Court I can. Obi, I just say, sign the call. Why, Mamma, I show Mukasa, okay, be a name of Bianco. Bibi intimacy. Me my dream met here and say, Obi and Humunya the campaign. Nagana for I say, and I can't mean this. I can't mean this now to about. Obi and the campaign to say, I ain't Ghana for your teacher. Say, you have not see a feeling say, Ebby away in Koya, and I did say,
Cacabacobia.
I know, dear.
Oba, Anna, dear Yanni say home. Anna, all my politics, supporters of political parties, politicians, I am not. Manual seminar on my yano, on my dream say, you know much. Yenina, yenim piffy say inconsistencies in our political space. The way I practice your partisan politics. and no my inconsistencies. What found was a wow kayo. I was a big crash in a trouble, you say, yeah, or say, now you name say, and ya, other than a sabreno. It doesn't also terminate the fact. Say, Adia name ye, and this will be the court. Name politicians must be consistent. Say, no man bar. Because we are following them. We are following you guys. Inti say bibi ba na say ye man critical analysis. Na ye kan ho asema. Supporters no one do ombeka. That is fine. But the ombeka doesn't terminate the facts on the ground. Never. Because at the end of the yasi. At the end of the sea, no, Sabre parliamentarians or more way. Bra for me na MPD and ba na bebre wo ho. No mo ho wo nyina wo obi aka na no tum. Enne be kro mo kasa ono ma atati anu ni ade nyina kasa na me wan na me say eh na enti mo ni me sa de we nyina na mo tena wo na sa de we course wa na. I'm shocked. Lawyers are good at what one sa de we course so. Enti mo dua aba na wi aso no. Mu ja no. Eno na the problem aba no. Asem na no sa aba na MPP good then Obekaya, you're Michael Tenyon. No, didn't be a popular Ghana politics. MTN.
Maradona.
Ni NDC for Tro Krata man when Fimpo when Fiwamokra Sabreno. Didn't be a popular power Ghana politics. So now we share the likes of a honorable Joe Wise. No, one would declare one intense. There one more call independent. So we now no more Sabreno be a to raise concern. And name Akwakoba and a former MPD. No. Just recent one ahead of 2020 elections. Ekoba say party no atro e dey akwa command because sabre no mo so mo absolute majority it will free mukra na say hwe. So say the city no. Enti say normal ba beto wo say na ye analyze ya wo dey wo fa ye ka ye kan me na menya na ke ya fro honorable Mahama Yarega. You see honorable Mahama Yarega that time say woko parliament ne some okan in the videos na me hwehwe bi Professor Michael Kwe e man ruling no in some no okan ye fa eye former MP say dey require do so timi contest ya dey no court so lawyers lawyer ya woponum sabri no won mu nyina ne bie o man na ni say ade we akoso yi sa won yamfa ya adwen anko ho then yamfa ya adwen anko mu nyina kasa say there be Professor Kwaku Azar womu nyina kasa fa ho Kwaku Azar yes aka Kwaku Azar womu nyina e kasa say asa ruling na Professor Michael Kwe maaye no enye ruling na ebeboa womu nyina kasa den no say kasa ne nyina wo ho ene nyame adoma be fontentan ho mani nti sa wo so tena se na wunya adade ya researcher wo be hu in some nkrofo kade fa asa ruling no but nyina we kept mute. Minority ankasa majority ankasa
woni Jombodu kasa
me ni Jombodu kasa ne
na Jombodu na ne comment efa Michael Kwe de on anything
but I say Michael Kwe de no say circumstances are issues na si no Jombodu ne kire say different platform na eno no so no party ni na tworo ye de call ye eti Jombodu argument ne say ye party ni na officially so tworo de call man bisa ne say na mo constitution article 91 MPP constitution is stating clearer say at the moment obeko independent obe campaign am independent bi obe free party no ma join another party your friend is saying sa enoama no edi adanse ye say automatically no we free party ni mo etimi kwan bi bisa no no kire say say enoama no official letter na effectualizing
Jombodu say Michael Kwe wanyam from so bia
David
also wanyam from so bia
because party na troko it also wanyam from so say bisa no bibisa so no amu ne troko letter no kra de come parliament no ono ahu say you wrong and why yourself introspection be ahu say you wrong and no say there be why because that time no party na troko but where the party be an tronko
e o thank you man konkon ho sa
say party be an tronko but ne kasa ni mu no kasa ono no kra no nya opportunity anko be take drastic
action ati ya hwan
what make independence so they also ono mo kra obi take drastic measure
adwene a yɛde to ɛdɔm no etiri no ɛna da bia yɛde ka asɛm o adwene a yɛde to ɛdɔm no ti obi de sɛ Cynthia Morrison ɔkɔhwɛ Suaduro the way yɛdi natem ɔhwɛ the way yɛdi Cynthia Morrison natem a yɛmpɛ n'anim ahwɛ o
ɛyɛ ne party for na
ɔso ɔkɔ independent
okay
ɛna yɛdi natem o nti yɛ na at the top so deɛ yɛ fight sɛ Debbie me and Cynthia Morrison free war yaman now is there any disconnect between party for na work from any woman was through and for what purpose and the through for per se Cynthia Morrison wants now and the other party for no yen hwe no ma bi ye kan ka dwombo adu kura nanka de me pe asusuo sen ko beka eye de KT Hammond kan no say Michael Kwedie no eye mfom so but don't say person justify because on the troll letter into justify say my kokwe nyam from so bia
because there was an official letter
no digina so no emra no digina so no o se mra wei and my kokwe gina so sa mra no na me so me gina so and na dom no be che say there be obi fum ekuma obi mfum nwa but don't say jombo adu kura be che on so troll letter no how do you say because obi an complaining ti and no no it is when an arrestable offense is being committed this will be complaining my police as it is no ni nyina ne say ye bebo ye homotene na yama edom na wo form no o ma dwene mu ehunu say bibia ye fine transparency be ye adwuma emma won ye ekọ sabi impreduasa ekọ apetition ba no nkire say we mu ye jimifo na we mu ye nyansafo ye ni party bia waka na ha say ya o mu nyina ye nyansafo na o mu nyina afa we so nyina ye jimifo
say kasa de zenye papa
say kasa no
say kasa de zenye papa
kofi dwuma wa de tia no say 70 years men kasa ntia obi all because we free party mu
and the
oh cancer wa bought them na adwene ba fia e de no wa ba mo ho na the sia no de sabe wa bought them ntino one fa we na nam how do you speak like that do your pen na a feed into the rank a far no o ma wa from no na feed into o ma dwene mu o hwe wo bi ko hwe nanim tuntum sam ya mete ya sei na ni fufuo so nam enyado antoro wa na gugu ni fufuo so no agina ho no ma kete by virtue of our nyansafo party eto onyim nyansa se de nanim adaho a wo ye adwuma kora how do we operate like that say from where there we join party where we nyansani we join party where we jimifo how do we operate like that
abanya papa ne de say kasa ne de me say kasa ne say
system no
we don't tolerate
no and I say a system no and I say it impenifo ne ya o mo be ye I would have thought to say majority leader no sorry gina ho no kura no can na seven no say you say na wo say wo kan ya ne wonya adwene if we say na anu impo a eye bia Michael ye say no ya mie ya no mpo anka na nya de ya so say na ehia se ye ana say nura mpo no ye na no free say ya and nei de ye free say ye nyina ya dwene pa ho ye dia ye ntene no so no I hope so yet say at that time na nyansa to be to omo at this time say nyansa be to omo you can't do that damn that could be one money to say that could yet be young from so because ye say me say and the banafun sem huna no ka chem no ko na kokoswe eh voter region akanda pa kan no ko tia sem akanda pa kan ye afa judicial ho man ka cho say judge for na ye omo de enye omo de enye omo de say situation bi beba sa na aba omo so na amanu mu achemienu emu achemienu na efa free say mo mpe asem efa free say mo mpe asem yanya ne sa die wo mu an say yanhwe na interview bi o na hwe na interview nimra na afrafra ntofo so meka omo de
ai wo mo kokuma so but we should avoid our political polarization.
Polarization
does too much. Oh, does. Eba sana. Ya na ubenya gullible people woman no say we na say no to one na wa fa de say de ofa no. Oh ya analysis ni ye na bia obetimi ya follow no wanya understanding no. Na woman so ka de bibie ho because wafa wo kan wo si yemiemu ntu we nyina so na political polarization say no
and nura de ye no e bia na sata ya dwene mu free say na but no ebi adwom foforo ba
ne yahu sɛ
enti admit sɛ nura de no ne ye free say ye eso so ene ye de toto ho no dabi entwa yie enti mum ye nyina ye den ye advanced democracy but amani look like abunu nya asase na obi eno na ede fisticuff ede face of na ba na se no enti omo so wo form no omo ka kire omo ho wallahi munnim na se mutwetwema wo mo a ya mpene mo munnim na se ye the way ya yamena to tonkrofo adwene mu no ade ya yamena to tonkrofo adwene mu no but ntebasa na omo te no ma so papa omo te no ma so o say abena mpofo on Facebook live o say ADAKABRI Babin didn't do anything wrong. I'm so happy that the stick that was used to beat Ban will be used to beat Techi. But I think say o say Haruna and Speaker cook this story together. JDM opened his mouth too early for a past president. Was he Erikata? Ma yene lawyer bakomra.
Yeah.
And tiene no. Ebepe Judicial Maklo of the NDC. Na yape lawyer Bribuahin of the MPP. The we anamu mami. Yape independent minded lawyer bakom. Na yenyina yen suade. And yes, he demonstrated say we nim nyansa na we na ejimi. Excuse my French. Judicial Maklo Esquire yamwaha.
Senior ADAKABRI. You are a chawo with you for now.
Edugina, what you saying?
What the other room?
Yo. Na in your estimation, the then majority leader, what they call that court, dear no kwasre womo. Efa speaker ruling. Efa ayem Rashobeja 4 and 9 noa. Ye you am free Rashobeja 4.
Yo, Senior ADAKABRI, but your constitution or so.
For constitution, bra. Constitution, major baby be there, mammy. And or the beba. It will your opening comments whilst he gets me the constitution, please.
You see, Senior ADAKABRI, when he Papa Okaya 1979. I say me course or my mom. I say my course so and then Sebio, a man who cry a friend of PFP, but okay. Now, a more NPB, a friend of Usual Champion. Okay.
Aye.
Okay, so now the damn minority leader, Kukuba.
Yeah, Kwakuba.
Okaya, Ebedru, Embrebia, Sebio, Omoaman, you could SRP or more from Parliament.
J chose a champion Kwakuba.
But Omo Kazanya, dear Omeko. Okay.
Go suit you.
Into your much now Parliament until 81 could buy. Because of that history, and right in 1992 Constitution, and now the two expressly say in Article 97, 1G or so, in the two more specifically say this time round, so over Parliament, Sebio on the ticket of one party, now in between, for whatever reason, we say that party no, when you want to hear you must, as it were, forfeit or vacate your seat. And you know, that history now, that backwards the 1992 Constitution are such a cure that. And so, because of that, because of the scenario in Article 97(1)G, now you introduce Article 1, 2, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 5, say, Sebio said, we are in no fish among your majesty above now. Who are more quiet over for 6 now?
Ooh, Eduji. I'm say this year sign two and a month. You raise lawyer Eduji back onto the line. Abraham Pofuneka says, "So Father Kabe, please read the MPP Constitution and the Ghana Constitution. Please educate us." Subuge Abuzige, or say MPP has destroyed Ghana. Kolgati, ADAKABRI, Marjorie, and Sifa are the same. They are all serving the MPP because they are on boards. ADAKABRI on board too. Dankwa Prosper. Yes, you are 2,000 times correct because how things are going one day. And Chakuba, as well, ADAKABRI, when the MPP former General Secretary wrote to the then Speaker requesting for the former MPC to be declared vacant, didn't we already know about Article 99, Clause 1, 2 of the 1992 Constitution? And or the buyer. Or say, Osaberi Mama Fukui, from an in retrospective view, Jerry Mami Biama, my own offer, and the new next persona or dame are all professionals. During articulations, they ask reasonable questions and won't allow you to throw dust in the listeners' eyes and ears. Party faithfuls ridicule them when the discussion isn't in their favor. Trust me, being a journalist in this current political space of the country is very disdain. I hope God see you guys through always. Mind you, Sabari Mafukwe is always here to listen to wisdom. And Odebaye. Or say Subugwe Abuzige, one day a blue right. Yanya Abre Atimiasa raising lawyer Eduji back onto the line. Na washas ye de yakoyechi. Na or she sentia certain provisions of the Constitution in the letter and spirit, Yadebaye. Lawyer Eduji Yadewasisi and Sakanwo. Who do you free DC in the third Republican Constitution and what they about a name?
Okay. And to not the American beginning and it's Constitution 92, it mirrors your history. A map, you come back. None your man console and canana near near Pequandia bed, you be ye few. Until this time around, you introduced in 97. You introducing the specific provisions there. Se unimna ufiama nyokuna edewa bana, you forfeit receipt no automatic. And you say u forfeiting here, must your people be left like that? Constitution said no. It was introducing Article 1125. And was saying, Sekobanu said, Sana mon way to analysis na be kanta. Within 21 days, your people should be given representation. In Tiema Electoral Commission, and yet they are going to buy election.
Ethiopia.
Yeah, buy election. Into Kaya. Emra, Professor, you see, in the year 2004, Ojani and Yamanu, even though he's a stalwart of the NPP, Ojani and Simani will lead Kamali Central Seat, Okaya, 2006, cross one day. If you go back, you buy election in a man, lawyer Inu Hussein Ebaye.
That was in 2005.
No, 2006 or so, if I'm right.
Somewhere in the region of 2005, because I personally went to Tamale to report on that election.
Exactly. Inti onono cross party nana ema by election by the lawyer Inu Hussein Ebaye no. Na ADAKABRI politics, the complexities. Okaya, in the year 2000, 2 MPs ever parliament. One, Rashid Bawa, MP, Akan, independent. Boniface Sadiq, independent. Salaga. Now, only no ever parliament, quintessential for smart as he was. he quickly gave them deputy ministerial position.
Mm-hmm.
Rashid Bahabe, deputy sports minister.
Mm-hmm.
Obeye, no. The next election, no, journey NPP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Papa.
I can't constituency, may he so rest in peace now.
Yes.
In our Boniface, I call back as NPP, Salaga. So, guy.
Fine.
Good. So, all this history, okay. So, in the year 2020, history, the Honorable Lawyer Andrew Esiama, MPP for Mina. In fact, or you say or call independent, not filing the process. Omampini Nana do Danko Kufuado, echo the constituency. Echo can't say. Na so I am not doing so echo independent. And yeah, the only bit we are here to. Not just okay.
Okay, Papa.
Good. It is based on that, MPP and manual for draw character. In the command speaker, I think I then under Chairman Freddie Blake. Mutual character command speaker Michael Quick. Say the NPP constitution is clear that if you go independent, you automatically forfeit your membership. You cease to be an NPP member. That provision in the NPP constitution is still there. That constitution in the NPP constitution has not been removed or repealed. If you're on that basis, no, then I speak of quick, I can't say. Even Article 94 to 97 1G, no cry there. It's clear on it. If you know, on there, you use his powers under Standing Order 18 of Parliamentary Standing Order to inform the House that the seat has become vacant. At that time, our friends in the NPP hailed it and said it was a new development. You see, Senator ADAKABRI, there's something that I always say, and I'm minded by it always. Don't be short-sighted. Senator ADAKABRI, don't be short-sighted. Why do I say don't be short-sighted? Life issues are not linear. They are multidimensional. In 2020, not MPP were comfortable majority. So not only review the impact of holding Article 97 strictly to its constitutional effect. They were comfortable. They didn't see any problem with Andrew Esiama seat being declared vacant. Now fast forward, 2024. This time around, they do not have a comfortable majority. The majority they have, a majority group. It is not the NPP stand alone for some majority, no. NPC were 137, NPP were 137. Andrew is the tiebreaker. So I say there's still the builder rejected, no. I made the cornerstone. Now guess what? History is bound to repeat itself. So now the same Andrew now has decided to now formally join NPP. Now what happens to the seat? He came as an independent. He is now joining a political party. The effect of Article 97 comes in. Honorable Cynthia Morrison came as NPP. In fact, he had formally filed a nomination to contest as an independent candidate. Now, the NPP constitution says that she forfeits her NPP membership automatically. Honorable, the MP for Subuka, also has formally filed his nomination with the Electoral Commission. This is not unintentional. There's a formal filing of nomination. So when you put all the scenario together, the okay ruling now plays back. Now you see, you, who your sponsor, no I shall want that. The okay ruling didn't look at it from this dimension.
Mhm.
A situation where Parliament becomes so tight. Secondary school of Ghana, almost a Judicial kind. I think it's in front of them.
Yes, and Fancy School.
In front of them. Omona Omomoto said, think ahead. At that time, no. Michael Quay, MPP for Oman thinking ahead. Because no one giving an answer, piano, on the comfortable majority or something. This time around, it didn't work. International, Mr. O, quickly. I think your market echo. To do what?
At the time of court, no, next speaker the Muabiaba.
Next speaker can't do an ammonia.
So it could be in the realm of speculation.
And I want to say, the Supreme Court is so give advisory opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The Supreme Court deals with only life issues. But, say, William Clairvoyant.
Or repeat it.
You see, I think you're marking a share of Petrista Cremua over Yan or that. And they may come a preemptive strike. So, now you see, I've heard leading members of NPP say the affected MPs were not given a hearing. But also as a
I need to stand up and I forgot to catch them. They are them.
Good. That's an afterthought. That's an afterthought.
I didn't say afterthought.
Okay. Parliamentary proceedings, every member of parliament has the right to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is to catch the speaker's eye. So after parliamentary proceedings, not the majority leader then, not minority leader. Nyanka Sam is sending the personal text message the next morning. Not to congratulations, minority leader.
Mm.
We're sending the message.
Mm-hmm.
Not the yard the account will say. In your opinion market, there's always an end to whatever strategy you have. You never anticipated, you never saw this coming. Now it has come. You have been found wanted. Why am I raising the issue there? It's an afterthought. You know that who is in court?
Mm.
Who is in court?
Any opinion?
Is it the personal representative of the 4 MPs?
There be Najasenka 4 MPs in a decision of the speaker and affect you.
Can you imagine? Who does the action affect directly?
That 4 MPs no.
Can somebody go to court and tell the court that the 4 MPs have not been heard? When they are alive, speaking, you know, you are lawyer for the same busybody, medicine in Kalupa.
The waji bibi ata wo na je se ufa osmaso ufa magina mama no afa se je se wo de
because he knows he said now at ADAKABRI Michelle the constitution is in Tiawanya senior
and the minimum say electronic
but
okay article saying 99
991
and 991 right I got it I say determination of membership. The High Court shall have jurisdiction to hear and determine any question
now,
whether
hold on. out step by step. Also, the High Court shall have jurisdiction to determine any question. Now, on what?
A person has been validly elected as a member of parliament, or the seat of a member has become vacant. Or B, a person has been validly elected as a speaker of parliament, or
No,
having been so.
A no. One say A no is in two folds.
Yes,
Whether you have been validly elected
as a member of parliament,
or
the seat
a
of the member
question
has
whether
become
that
vacant.
seat has become vacant. What are we dealing with now?
Constitutional interpretation and ubidiako, but on the face of it, a 4 MPs in the speaker say, almost a seat has become vacant.
And ADAKABRI, is the question not whether or not the declaration or informing Parliament of that vacancy is right or wrong? Is that not?
So the effect of the speaker's ruling, would result to say, it be free parliament.
So, where is the proper place to go?
The High Court under 991.
Or say, the High Court shall have jurisdiction to determine any question, whether a seat having been declared vacant. And yes, sir.
Aye.
So, with respect to, why did the court assume jurisdiction to make those consequential orders?
Supreme Court has an awoken.
Yes, sir.
Now, that question, when he find a post on a hint a year, no.
ADAKABRI say interview.
In interview, yeah.
Now, ADAKABRI, so now, Supreme Court, you. Now, say, special circumstance, a warrant said they will stay the decision or ruling of Speaker. No. One, enemy say, no doing so would affect government business. And sir,
Aye.
when the Speaker gave that information, that's what standing order 18. Was it not Afenyomakin who voluntarily staged a walkout? So whose conduct is affecting the business of the House?
Hey, so why majority there on to no one say?
But the Constitution doesn't say that for government business to run, the party that produced the president must have a majority.
And I say, also, our members of parliament.
There's nowhere like that in the Constitution. Because the Constitution contemplates a situation where the elected president may even have lesser numbers in parliament. So the Constitution contemplates a situation of cooperation.
It also move to the consensus abu minor.
Exactly. So consensus is a way of governance. And so, where the Supreme Court, with the greatest respect, says, if they don't intervene, government business will be. At that point, the court had moved into the realm of politics and not that law.
They just say, in effect, almost after a year consensus building.
Yes. Because it's also part of governance. You see, nothing stops now minority leaders.
Because Eduji, it's plausible in future, say, you bet me at Tuaba, na Ubia winning as president. And so now the party no and your minority MPs.
Yes, it's a perfect scenario. In fact, Akufo-Addo nearly governed with a minority in parliament. But for the intervention of Esiama.
And you are suggesting that in that instance, the Supreme Court cannot be at the behest of the echoes of parliament.
No. So in those situations, is the Supreme Court going to say that they will put the equation in parliament to allow smooth government business? That is politics. No, another issue. The court says that if they don't intervene, the people in those affected constituencies will be denied representation. Senior. Mr. Wu, the person being kind a quotation
From
the Ghana Law Report. This is Justice Kluje. In the case of the Republic versus Fast Track High Court, Accra, ex parte Daniel, 2003-2004, Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report, page 364, but the quotation is from page 370. Also, quote, we cannot, under the cloak of constitutional interpretation, rewrite the Constitution of Ghana. Even in the area of statutory interpretation, we cannot amend a piece of legislation because we dislike its terms or because we suppose that the lawgiver was mistaken or unwise. Our responsibility is greater when we interpret the Constitution. We cannot and we must not substitute our wisdom for the collective wisdom of the framers of the Constitution. Senior ADAKABRI.
In the course of interpreting the Constitution, you do not end up writing a new provision.
Rewriting it. Senior ADAKABRI, a Constitution is read as a whole. You don't read it piecemeal or conveniently. And you know, Article 1126, Senior Kaimani.
1126, okay.
Yes, sir.
That is 11, and I say 112.
Article 12, Article 112.
Article 12. That is Article 12, isn't it?
Yes, 12.6.
Okay, then I've got it. No, Article 12, no. It gets to only 2, 1 and 2.
No. Check it, 112.
Oh, 112, you mean to say 112. Okay, almost there. I got to 116. Okay, 112. Yes, I've gotten it down. Up to 6. Into 112. Or say sessions of Parliament. A session.
No, cause 6, no man.
Okay, 1126, no. Or say, notwithstanding clause 5 of this article, a by-election shall not be held within 3 months before the holding of a general election.
So the fear the Supreme Court expressed that they will grant the state because the people there will be denied representation. It's completely disconceived.
Because within a matter of 48 days, the people will be represented.
Exactly. The Constitution, the favors of the Constitution contemplate 2 scenarios. They say when this thing that we are talking about that leads to forfeiture, vacancy, say, see, now 3 months ain't do ya, and it's nearby election. So you not be denied representation. But say, I got 3 months in Kwadia, Maninka Hosa.
Now, sir, case, does it have any parallels with the saw case? No, nah.
Send me Kaba. What you say? Yes, all your phones are no action. Buy the Boba. Now, the Supreme Court is afraid that a group of people will be denied representation. However, this same Supreme Court, incidentally, the person who presided over Friday's matter was a member of the panel that injuncted Judicial. At the time, from 1992 in ADAKABRI, no MP has ever been injuncted by any court. But the Supreme Court, in a very extraordinary circumstance, injuncted Judicial. At the time when they injuncted Judicial, with respect, the people that were not denied representation until the determination of the matter. Were they not? When the Supreme Court gave that interlocutory injunction rescinding the article on for 4 years now, have they been represented in Parliament?
Debbie.
So what principle are we applying?
It will be Mammy Musa. In the course of all lecture, you suggested, say, what is before the Supreme Court is not a complaint from any of the 4 MPs.
None.
No.
And yet clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once a member of the New Patriotic Party,
mm-hmm.
and in this instance,
mm-hmm.
joins or declares an intention, not only that,
mm-hmm.
but goes ahead
even file
with the filing of the nomination, the person is deemed to have forfeited his membership. Deemed.
Into the MPP, MP like Cynthia Morrison need not write to the MPP by his actions. Her actions.
You see the word forfeiture.
No one can say no. A free nakwem.
Forfeiture. Senior.
Hmm?
And you see the word forfeiture.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write the MPP constitution.
Did any MP complain to Speaker Babin, say, in future, Obeba as an independent candidate?
Senior.
Mm-hmm.
Even Major dear, Mekai Kratabia Justin Kundia. Actual. Hello.
Ethiopia.
It's dated November 20th, 2023. You see, this word, the only letter with you. Let me read this letter to you.
Go ahead.
Forfeiture of membership.
Mm-hmm.
Pursuant to provision of Article 39I of the New Patriotic Party Constitution. The leadership of the New Patriotic Party has taken notice of recent activities of Hossein Adoye, Yabuabia Samoa, Nana Ohimto, and Boniface Abubakar Sadek, which includes publicly endorsing the candidature of a person other than the duly elected presidential candidate of the NPP, Alhaji Bawumia. In spite of their flagrant breach of the party constitution, particularly Articles 35A4 and 391, the aforementioned men still hold themselves out of members of the NPP for the avoidance of doubt. Article 35A4 of the NPP Constitution enjoins all members of the party to abide by and publicly uphold the decision of the party. In addition, listen carefully.
Your line is super.
Article 391 of the Constitution provides as follows. A member of the party who stands as an independent candidate against the officially elected member of the party, or who joins or declares his or support for another political party, or for an independent candidate, when the party has sponsored a candidate in a general or by-election, automatically forfeits his or her membership of the party.
I just say MPP Constitution are okay.
NPP Constitution.
Now, what does NDC Constitution say on this scenario? Now, what me uncle will be free? Constitution. A dear provision a NDC Constitution to Kaya. Educate me. What does a scenario of this nature? What does the NDC Constitution also say? In all this, not just 4 MPs, no.
No. It's ADAKABRI. So,
Yetium. Aduji. Oh, quite unfortunate. You lose it. You've been raising the back onto the line. I mean, Konkoma, Honorable Afayam, Chairman of the Insurance Consortium of the NDC. Yeah, Bama. I told you my bedroom. I joke out the call in Yama Visa.
What can I say I'm from the currency and a year in November.
That's what
Say, me na me di na de.
Una di na.
Say man frame meeting na MPP for mo nhyɛ so mo ntimi frame.
O ma hwete.
Ai, nti say no.
And the boss take us charges bebre.
Ai, ono de say baby edu no wa onim si ne twa ya.
Oh.
But ne ho ye. Ne ho ye just that onye visible sa wo.
Na ya mo ko fa nipa na ohemfa. Na no ye fa nsan NDC bibi kakra bi wa sante edom and yes after say adom no abi na machichiri bi dia ko machere maten Alan amo no so asade dom na ba.
Oh na asem we dey adakare. Say sa adom na achichiri bi akoma
achire maten.
Eje echere ne say asantema ni ate omo ne abi esisi. Yes, omo abamabu omo dofo bi ho. So say o disi wo dofo a say oda dofo a na nakomate a afi do mpe wani mahwe sana akoba edinyam na mode dom di bi ma Debi na sasa Debi na frafranto for so won so mu dom wo
yeah we dom
say asante akwakoye 3 square meal
ye bro sakra na emom no bibi kase bibesi e wa asante
bibi besi
yes
bibi besi
of
mami ediji conclude mra la ediji ye do asese yan sasa account and then you have to move with a kind of some speed because as a washada person MPP for Mbabe can be anything I would train when I see no.
Senior, first of all, me welcome me nyaminyonko magi na chama na fayam.
Wow.
Waba studio no.
I said you can't call you no man visa am net me bank.
One of the vibrant constituency chairman ewa Ashanti region. Me man of more piaf.
And also so also what is before us no any person who complained to the Supreme Court and I relieve idea na or complaining of the release be na no hwehwe
senior na man can say first of all the senior unless afenyo marking over Supreme Court at best for your busybody or your medicine interloper.
Now, Kwakwa say being speculative ahead of what Speaker intended to do.
Absolutely. Omission can say an act or omission is what is required to trigger Article 2 of the 1992 Constitution for interpretation and enforcement.
But would you agree, sir, whatever Fenyon at the core, that Friday morning, there was a fresh application asking for a stay.
No. Senior, an application, be it an application for stay or application for injunction, must be predicated on an original action. So it is the writ that is invoking the jurisdiction of the court.
And then your original action, no?
It is usually a fair originating process. So the originating process, the origin.
Almost one man can. Akwala kitua osunyalo o man can. What ya na? Enti almost mra mekabi. Enti ye ni lawyer digi. Fi na so beka bibi.
Oh, na me say like say boy dream funny form. I tempted to be a very I say Saturday dinner I when
okay now yetimi asan raise the back onto the line na obeye na wama MPP for no so aba be kan bi into originating process no ehun asa na wo ka kire yin
the originating process the rate. That is what you use to invoke the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Now, having invoked that jurisdiction, you can now apply.
Go appear before judges. No, dear, no, catch the woman.
The process now. They went back to the original rate and now pay the court for 10 days stay. But what I say?
Back to the original rate now, a year ahead of the speaker, whatever they intended, whatever they thought the speaker intended to do, actually has come through.
So now they are saying that I didn't know what so bad. They say why.
And you are suggesting, say, the Supreme Court shouldn't have entertained such anticipatory
at all, because after that time it was entirely speculative.
When it became actual, Safi speaker no, the idea so obey and you court no, why no. We are now invoking that original process to ask for 10 days what? Edu jinko money yeda na ko edu ji to phone papa and this phone pen for monto phone papa Mr. Monto phone papa medu aha
Now can be main kind the motion paper now on the court.
okay can kire yen What paper no but you can paraphrase because you are not making any serious assertion against the conduct or the matter before the Supreme Court. It's
or say, this is what the lawyer said. Or say, coach, we have come as party because of the urgency of this matter, and upon the conjoint reading of Article 29.5 Order 19.3 of CI 47 of the civil procedure rule, and where the subject of the application is likely to cause irreparable damage, a stay of execution must be granted. We refer to paragraph 8 and enumeration of ground 6. 8. As party because of the likely mischief being a halt to the business of Parliament, especially committees chaired by the current majority members.
Just if you are no pa and omujina aye George nim and omo catcher George no say a young granted S party and me and stay speaker and ruling na nyesa irreparable damage may occur na the urgency of which in Tino Maba almost 10 days. Then what happened?
The likelihood of current minority members doing everything in their power to halt the business of government in these dying minutes of the period of 2024 election.
It is before the judge, they are then suggesting what they believe the minority would do.
Exactly. And I see quite problematic. Delay of government appropriation, which will require the approval of Parliament. Has the supplementary budget not been approved? Has it not been approved?
So be a main budget for 2025 about November.
But that main budget is not the budget for Akufo-Addo.
So now at the chrono complaining of if they are in the minority, now as you prophet a consensus earlier on, if they are not in the majority.
Exactly. All these are things that can be done on the basis of consensus.
And to wait, I want to pay 10 days, then court no consequential orders,
Granted a maximum of 10 days, we shall repeat this application for the defendant to provide justification. So they were even asking for 10 days. Then, subsequently, it will not be on notice. The books the last time on Supreme Court are granted a stay. As part of that.
And you're restraining somebody, but vacating the person's ruling.
Because you do it on notice. Because it's something that can potentially affect another person.
So you let that person come before you.
Exactly.
And then when they also ask for 10 days, within the 10 days, the other person would have also come before you.
So even the lawyers recognize this important fundamental principle of law. And so they were asking for 10 days. Yeah,
and maybe the idea. And then do we know the entire consequential there's neighbor say indefinite as opposed to the 10 days they sought and intended to repeat?
Mr. Brown,
And between the two parties, and there 4 parties for no any Jimmy 4 parties, or they're here.
Welcome. Nancy Subana, MPP forward. Said. Still, they are not learning from their mistakes.
in your view, a parliament.
I strongly believe that Parliament must respect its authority as a co-equal arm of government.
So what do you make of a separation of powers and then checks and balances?
ADAKABRI, this question was posed to the U.S. Supreme Court
Mhm.
in the celebrated case of what the case that we popularly call the Still Caesar case. Okay, there was a time the U.S. were going to war,
Mhm.
and they needed boats and knots and others for war.
Mhm.
So the President of the United States of America took it upon himself to seize the steel mills that they were in a state of war, and for that matter, they will go ahead, seize the steel so that they can only produce material for the war. That decision of the U.S. President was challenged. And when it was challenged, the U.S. Supreme Court, speaking to Justice Stanford, was saying, yes, we recognize the issue of separateness, but equally important is the question of interdependence. Separateness, but interdependence. ADAKABRI, at that time, when the President of the U.S. declared a state of war, they said the Constitution of the United States of America reserved the declaration of war in Congress. Has Congress declared any war? And to the extent that Congress has not done it, that decision by the U.S. President to say he's seizing the mill on the ground that there is a war was unconstitutional. Order 18 has its foundation in the Constitution. That order empowers the Speaker of Parliament to inform the House when there is vacancy. The NPP Constitution does not use the word automatically forfeit. If you automatically forfeit something, does you need a public announcement? So when from this notion by the NPP that the person must be given a hearing, was a chairman given a hearing?
Okay, we will leave it here and let's see what happens tomorrow. Into this time round, in the others, the speaker is then asked to also come to court with why the speaker's ruling should be allowed to stand. Moya Huanhubwa.
Me, speaker lawyer.
What would you advise the Speaker of Parliament?
That you, Speaker, you're calling it to the ban 1982.
But as a young man, I say Martin Pebukurane, Vincent Asifua, Etimishiyama, Vincent, Vincent Timichre, Pebu Adiakakra, it be able to me at Speaker Adiakakra. Said a young man, when I'm kind idea more, young pen for the experience, but then Omunia Adjomodebe kind idea deep into the night. What advice would you proper to the Speaker of Parliament?
The Speaker of Parliament's lawyer is my senior Tadio. Sorry,
he's a great guy.
I want to believe.
So if we are to become a junior to Tadio, and doing the legwork, what would you say strategy being because Tadios on faso advice speaker?
I will privately suggest that to him, senior.
And then a map a laptop will be and so why? All right. Right. Yeah, Eduji, and this is my gentleman, young man, to me, a chair, papa, young man.
Oh, he's trying to brand those.
Yes, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a great. And young Kwalabi, and then Kwalabi, a PCK, a year no Casami de B. Quachapanibi. It is as Cana or the Betchaman, Ubenian times 100. It that would be times 100.
Mafia.
Mafia. On your mafia, and come with Diemono. On your mafia.
I know about Bompaya Gusu.
But then a cow. Your friend, Benjamin is sorry. or your trouble constituency youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party. Because Bronya so you know, we do believe we say a crop Sante at the office of the vice president. I mean, I'm not asking me on I send me 1,000 cities. And I'm sorry, I say of a person did Bronya. And I was like, nah, Brandy, the Akos when you know what me a Kai say, who of a bina would me Bronya.
The one you catch
And about the end, I said,
video arm chimney.
Do it, Yache.
I know video arm chimney.
I'm making part to be brave where you are brabum.
And be a woman,
no, yes. Die, you been your queen, now you be shout for the first time.
oh, by you and Nika said, in fact, was surprising me. Was I become a shadow crow until we could do him when I'm saying, now, Brandy, dear parent, I say, I would decide a bow bra, there be a social papa baby walk and what because I'm also thinking how to surprise you. Into Diana, I was all quite him fear and sound the becono, and no one ye bar abe bones and so I deba. So, the baby abeque come. Right, as about that one says, Siano, parliamentarian see, pinching, and now say advancement of your democracy and no mudima. And Benefo, one echo can I mean, don't know what can is one.
Oina. Odoba and son of a corner, so I mean, can be. Mitier say, O can ask him.
Yeah.
Na, also, what drew, say, what you mean, a kaiona, wash envelope, no so crano. At the end of the shame, no, be a Ghana, dear, a BC abroad for dear, and ya, dear, no pay, so by guest channel.
Just channel.
And now, I joins him. And if he say, dear Sefata. Say ni pebia no wa o so tumi recognize obi say especially say o adwuma die odi enye ne wo enye ne ya hwe wa me no unhia one on one but I admire you.
Yes,
so ti ase nti o ka say munu edi adwuma die na obi kra hia for the first time say de wo ye no nti me fi say wet minim say afafra to de ne no ye mishi odi agro kete ya nemom no ye wet commending such a gesture. And I think say nyani pe bia na betimi ya
because me bon paye man no akola die ne kan no
so eno no kra no ye wo ye no akoma na wo de abon paye ama no kra waje atum no ehu nhira na ye bebre so hon say o de kitu abeje kese but won hira ehu so I think say a good gesture ye na
so mo man ani na ho nyi obi bone
yes so a good eye so of course
ofruba
and your may be so yes so
o ma me wi ka me de beba na betre
America I get to we at Ghana and mu ha say
I know the dollar so on the aqua me fia just say
it's great it mean Benjamin Desari Trouble constituency youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party. Mo bi aso one constituency in Kase, wa ama obi your constituency no dey come ADAKABRI. Why? E bi a win bi kwasa.
Over me that say memfa akwanya nso na menchia mempanimfo a me no wo studio ha. Na menchia watifo mpempem a omutie dwumadi no. Ye chia obi a menchia me constituency executive led by Nana Chiba for me am a boss, Honorable Simon Sechi, the municipal chief executive for Ganof municipality. Mechiano pa, no machia me MP incoming, Madam Gloria Ousu, Obana, Mechiano baby or every and yen rain. Of I am say Asamoa Eda a pronounce Siciano, Akoya Sembia, bear say 1 week near myself 4 days. Of I may dream one, and your money be a mentiasi. Na eja oye lawyer ni mapa kunini pa na your problem no say even all lawyers cry anymore wo no issue bi a bebe bia so no bia ne nadwen ruling bi a bebe bia so no lawyer bia ne nadwen ekwaya ofa so ruling na sefa enti no say asem a aba beda ho sisie ya ye kase me who the issue of it ofa me who the problem of it because you say arms of government parliament ede no legislature eje no ho judicial nso de no ho ye kan nyina bomu a ne ye supreme god of the land no ye yankasa ye supreme court bibi ebesi wo man no mu bia no parliament esemra parliament is not the interpretation of any law bia bebia sɛ wo hyɛmra wie a na sɛ nchiwasde ba mra no ho a baabi a yɛkɔ ekobutu ekɔgye nkyeremu no ɛyɛ Supreme Court and even though kura Supreme Court at the verdict eba you still have the chance a wobetimi appeal enti ne asi a yedi hu memomu a ye papa nom MPs ye nuanom a omo kasa ne den so ma grassroots ni hu se esasem kese bi esi wo mamu anom a ene wo be sole wo hia obi o so ochena den ne besi parliament ochena den ne besi parliament ochena den ya ne betimi asi parliament eden ya ne besi parliament kura ye hu bi da even here ba be you speaker kura ne esi wo parliament it was the first time no obi hu bi da Ghana ha enso me no ka se ne esi ye ni nyina echi no ye nya speaker of parliament e ma parliament e continue ye na adwuma sane emra na hye wo mo so wo nye wo mo adwuma enti wo fa ochire bibie ni we besi me problem ne say Supreme Court ena akasem emra no kura no fa asem na ye de court ankasa no ye nya nkyerɛkyerɛ mu o ye nkyerɛ asem num ye si ye nkɔ ene ya ma direction say ye ni sa asem no so enti say even though kura ye nuanom NDC anase minority na wo ho no say mo so mo wo contrary view asem na Chief Justice anase Supreme Court to the buy no mo ntiase a there is a way to do it obetimi akọ na wo so akodi anamo no so ofa yemfa edanchi anase yenya tricks emfa nya majority wo parliament wo parliament ho no ansa na obenya majority no yenya majority no wo polling station yenya majority no wo constituency ansa na wo de awura parliament enti se wo parliament na so wo minority a kasa no anase o minority no starting from the polling station from constituency and now they are parliament enti so person wunya majority our parliament go to the polling station go to the constituency go to the people and you won kasa ni ento abama nya majority no our parliament na wo pese wo fa kwan bi so na wo de benya parliament majority our parliament which emra no making it clear whether say wo betimi afa sa akwa no so anya no ni nyina ayemra e na wo pesa akwa no so na wo de anya sa majority no wo parliament e na wanya yesi speaker e de ni ruling aba no problem precedents e wo honom no mo se eno ana mu gina so ofa that time na Professor Michael Kwe e de ni ruling bae no are you saying say NDC for the ruling ni to mu even current speaker of parliament he was against the ruling of Professor Michael Kwe and the appear could be he was against a lot of MPs no honoma omo against the ruling no ni nyina mu no yanya obi amana show up am fasem na anko animu anko Supreme Court obi a wankwaje nkyeremu ene different thing aba yes obi the ruling aba ni ekuo bi se mementi ruling ase memfa ase kan hye mensem memfa atuo hye mensem na emom no me de befa mrakwa so na makwaje nkyeremu wako fa mrakwa so wanya nkyeremu wode aba wo se chinchina da a wotena ye ruling speaker ruling ti ye majority in parliament eno so sa sebe eno ni problem na de bia na ba fam a NDC supporters MPP supporters ye hu wo fam a ese ye yatamfo because ye mpanimfo na omudi animu no eye MPP NDC no omudi ye animu omu nka no kore enkyere grassroots no enti de bia ye hu se ye yatamfo because asemu asi anu ase wo bie mu acha okay mo me yen follow ni enko Supreme Court na yen konkwaje nkyeremu wo asa na me wa chinchina ada enra Sam George and Saturday Sam George make statement bi wo Okujeto Abrakwa constituency say mon konka Supreme Court ne Akufo Addo say next parliament me na me ye chairman vice chairman ni baby or one no na ye vice chairman because they are in majority. How can you speak like that? Na we num nyina mo pese nkwala na omu di akire na omu ba no e kwa be na omu so issues ba yemfa so respond to eti ye besere ye nuanom no parliament wo be ko parliament no it's not a joke uko ansan ye be ka kire wo say we member of parliament na anamo wa wafam ana say nimdi a wo ansan na waduru parliament no enya sem ketwa enti ya na omu nya niam bi ma timamufo no yemfo omu ani ntwitwi fam yes, emwa ma ye democracy no enkoso because they should earn the respect omwanya wo emrashe bedwam as members of parliament
omo integrity no enso omo bo ho bai na wo munya asem bia no ye be ne politics asem bia ye be ne politics o si speaker integrity is so important. What are their integrity? Must first na ruling by ye nenye and the same ruling number must ye. So what is this? Won tenia maybe ase so we say ruling nenye dena adena say there say ruling no u gina so e dey aye bibi foforo wo dey gina so aye bibi foforo nipa na e ba first no se mentem ho ase me dey asem no go Supreme Court o si chinchina da Supreme Court asem na waka no me nyini ofa menti ase say ada say wo ko Supreme Court a ye ntime nka asem bi one day enya ho ruling ana eno emra be netia say wo dey asem court na se enya ruling ma within a space of a day eno no boni bi wo ho bridge of law bi wo ho no mo ana say ekoye MPP for no de asem no court nti no ye be reading meanings to it say because of a MPP nti no omo court no Supreme Court atena so sada na the ruling aba yes sir we are not helping the democracy now. The same Supreme Court we and the ruling ma minority leaders is here ambulance case yes no hu so onfa no hu nkodi high court and the rule say no hu so onfa no hu nkoti eno no say wo betimi I appeal from high court and the Supreme Court. So I want to tell maybe as a high court appeal court. Omoko womanim and a court of appeal no. Can't say betimi ako. Of amedas and no crown no court of appeal no crown. On the side to me ako womanimako Supreme Court. Say in case woman tell maybe as ya. And today piano obi obetimi aboa ama yate ye ho ase wo mbra and to what the share beba hono. A Supreme Court. Minim say the parliament is above the law. Parliament yanka wamwasem. Sorry, I'm just being me person misuade. If says parliament asemoba, na say Supreme Court intime nka wamwasem dia. Omuma yehu because oka say parliament speaker ruling no dia ba no. Parliament intime and set aside and for before from madia. Then what you are telling us and say parliament no what they know obi eni one more obetimi control parliament. Of a yes answer dia. Then a be ne yefa so a yesi democracy ne benyini ntime de nyame ya adomo a ochena bibie ni we besi kasa na ekoso wo abonten saa keke omukoduru ono ma MPP NDC empanimfo no mo no nyina o me ye namfofo obekọ no omo te coffee shop omu didi omo kwa omu pia no omo abeye bibi ama supporters na hu say all is not well between MPP MPs and NDC MPs of omo boa bibie ni we besi bibia bekoso kama wotsena ama ekwaya speaker na dream do oye lawyer anye ne enti so na dream no ene ni susu yemu ofi say Supreme Court asem na ode aba no merit bi wom a esese wom gina so di dwuma wo parliament a yade e bekoso kama bibia ni ho ebesi Supreme Speaker of Parliament ono so nim ni esese wo ye ni esese wo ya ebeboa ma oman na kwa nim no ye nim say ye wogidie wonimu obeye enti yesre ye papa nom ne ye nua mpanimfo no omuma 10% mra fam na ese bibi kese bi ba besi wo mamu ofanyame ya dum ochena bibi eni wo ebesi ni ebesi bia no ebi asida ene nso no ye mfasika ni ntuo enkogina parliament ma sem bia mba democracy na ye de be ya adwuma yo that's chairman afayam enu ntina afri kumasi abai
adakabri mama ncha kumasi fo ina titru ncha yesofo na I am a parliamentary candidate Obapa first in a dairy.
And this time asante as a mafa and ma fe
sir
John Echam some of us amana
yeshiano your mama
candidates was asante
yeah
I just to say oba fe beaches oba
oba nshaye so a kama pa oko menshia sauta so kama pa oko dwaben so a oko kama because he said for the first time he been oba vice president and MANSO wotima so ma wa badaye so mo wo kitchen a aduane obenya biedi
I just need by say just
Jerry
and he didn't cry and was in a Libanon and just what the billboard cracker yes
yeah sentina make just a BB say when him say yeah say this time around I say man you more opportunity na omo be serve tell me I na party bia oh you be 30% you be 30% nti demonstrate through that parliamentary na ya me ya adom na omu nyina so timi ba parliament na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama apɛ bibia ma ɔmo atima ayɛ ɛde aboa ɔman no
asante man dɔso
yeah ɔmo dɔso nti adakabre Dr. Samuel Sapon
hey
maybe owo bia me share papa
amate
na okoji man kwaku jampra the third oye chirano ɔman hene em sɛ mema wahu no na adakabre wate udin so pa eso hu one on one
ati wadaro
min chia fafanto the yellow man na minu akuma de ni sika yie ni ga sha da efe de mum ni delivery no de nya sa na tie but
what's one ti no ma piase e wo ti ase
meti no ma bebra o ti ase na mum na nya ne de nti na se o datable dia spectacle hye ni no yes o ti ase na unim ye wo kasa bi wo twi kasa bi ye se aboapra kitwa no so hu apra kese ya na wa ye den no no abobo na nka ye ready ji damaklo ye director of legal wo nkomo odi ye no wo hyiamra onimumra we so de akoye mra nsem ne ade nti nko kasa kura nko kasa wie ni se meka bi but ye de be ba kire be so ye ba be kire de esu ye nim se mra no ye kire anameboa ye kire na manfo esua nti de ono so lectures ya obe ma ye nyina ye sua bi efiri ani kura wo mu ni se nkomo aye di ayana sometimes ye nuanu men people adakabre ayana omo ye me won apa omo ya ma saying be o say you see the NDC for no oh they know the law na mum the MPP for know the judges no omo ya ma na ye adwuma na basa emwa democracy na ye kikire no nkomo aye di ye simple entitia ye redo jitama kulukasa no kan bibi o say omo amudi mirikadi ko Supreme Court ye wura afanyo market currently don't know a minority leader because media be so a minority leader ni bufu ipa trouble media no kaso mo ye bias na minim se BBC or parliament na ne o madane a chinchina na ye friend majority leader na there be one no di mirika akọ Supreme Court say okwa injunctive speaker akọ asemi and all that na ehemi wonwa say there na ade be chiama sa asem we abesi o kasa wa afidie bi so ye rafa yo markets ene ebisa ne sa na mo constitution no see aya eka de edu ye redu jitama ko kenkan eka se so be across carpet from mo party nim e ko gina kwenten kra na o party bi so automatically ofifiti ne position in membership what's in the constitution in nchen ye rafa yo markets I don't have my constitution you quote it. Let me say, hey, now some way the baby edu ni abra wunim time ye resiama Professor Maya Kokwe ken kan sa ade ni na o ka se we declare the seat vacant now you Rafael Markins now or a member of parliament now or parliament no o ka se my Kokwe or na we tin okay granted simple analogy. Say area afanyo marking say see so a majority leader so the minority leader na no a majority leader no and wa cross cap say no wa ba NDC a into I sure say come make so on trim na say onye majority leader ma MPP e question is so mutimi yi ano nko be pene sa MPP for nko me pene say wa cross cap say onye majority onye MPP ni bi mo gina wo NDC ana afafanto officer nko me pene say on tena ho no represent MPP as a majority leader na kensi nya chumsam ne yeka enti ye resiama time ne so the same thing and obi ko report you na obi report you so obi an report you o constitution is automatically and a speaker no the here speaker no so be find out from the electoral commission say ampa say nipa we ya wo gina wo MPP dim no ene wo gina MPP dim na say wo gina kokwenten kro speaker no confirm dia yade adwuma omu nimumra no pa. But akweti o speaker so no wanye bias o wanka say okay me NDC ni ansa na me ba be speaker ntino sa dia NDC ni bi to ato no meyi na frim wanka sa o box o mu ina so tia say and demonstrate the speaker no crampo no dia why very very objective on the issue and our workers were declared 4 seats vacant mudimrika say na Supreme Court abem yo Supreme Court ba abem no nkoma a mudi ya memeti ase ne so mo se nka on stay answer enye saa nkrofo no omo representing pesuafo bi so say o deny omo am pesuafo no nya representation ye lawyer kasa director of Lagos say enkrofo na from sal no Central Fee Akpafolipe ena lolobi no me pacho so omo se fata sanko bi be di omo anim 4 years ni ye ndina omo ana the same thing Jachikwesi in common dey a perfect example time a yera Jachikwesi kwa gina so opeso yemre shebedwani no na wa tro renunciation from Canada dey krata aba dia dance ansa na yekoto no so aba ba Supreme Court ka say time okofa form no na process no start from war enti enu nti no onyina nchen sa time no na ono no pacho na sin no fofo no mu ni ho ana na no madane samanfo no mu de yendi na wo representation ana enkomo na mu di no emfa obi atworo krata bi na ADAKABRI tie o say parliament ena aye veti Supreme Court judges no ye nominate o ma anamboa
is here two bi o
ho meboa ena chief justice of parliament okay it's a parliament convert o mu wie na parliament ka say omumode mana anso ne yenye omuntuma pato Supreme Court be share omo say da bi munye omuntuma na eh question is so omusuma answer me yeti because say parliament no mo no obi edin lemo yewra bagben otina kwanyam na odi ni the 3 arms of government no and the executive the commander in chief so born executive for and the judiciary no so madam chief justice wo ho entu ma me show obi yewra bagben ka so o penchechiremu constitution ne dia na constitution ne ka me anasa constitution no 4 years ago no yasesa na yasesa omum yehu eno dia omum yehu a ye nyina beba at the same level by yensesa no na the same article 97G na eka se obi ebegyina o party bi di mu na so free wo kwa another party bi dia automatically na che so vacate ni seat no eya no ade a me pacho mu ni case enti nkoma ye di no mo piki na mo chusu Minia youth organizer say onu de openchiremu no unim pa anka exams na wo chro no kokom na nka wote table a nka wa chro de yin na ya kana ko pass nka wo chro different thing but akwa say wo pe political interest nti ene na ebu abom nti mani abre yewra to forcing oni ne anapam fo omo say no de omo ye majority omo dwen Ghana ho pa speaker so ruling no mine enya chief ye kan say Supreme Court na ehye ne say ka ruling mu ono so odini hene wo ho okane nsem wo ho a obi anarrate no wo ho say speaker on court martial no ye pick intelligence ye say ha mu dia soja fo kura beba ho no musi soja ni bia ma ho hallelujah but ye hu bi pen on the 6th of January 2021 mu ma soja fo ko parliament wo so na wo bi ansi enti mu betma take it by surprise but some say mu ma soja ni bia nko hallelujah dan ye tell say ye wo parliament no marshal fo bi wo ho sa marshal fo no omo take instructions from Supreme Court omo take instructions from the Speaker of Parliament ye Rabagwen enti omo na say Rabagwen ka say ukotena majority seat to no see the seat to enya wo dia na waka che marshal ne say papa sori ne kotena o seat so mo me yemfa prepare enya adwuma me tie Professor Michael Kwe the former Speaker of Parliament me hu dream me efi say ono aka so say Reverend Minister so ti ase Bible no nkoma na ye di preaching no ye nane dane ne saa o so see a into the same thing no abefa constitution no so Bible na da parliament ono govern Ghana we gina so de edi asem enne de obae no wo say different o yes ana ne kasa ne yakwa yes flag bearer bi aminim no a opera man panyi edi a o ye head of economic management team ema party bi now I failing no catch us when the economic fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate to expose you. Now Kobusa and necessary exchange rate and do 16 equal 17. If I $1 no na $100 me boa. $100 no, they say no calculate here be say. 1,600 me boa. Na unia kuma or no person channel for 2,000. And no DB yes abrofisika and no be ye be physical. They say Kobusa era Dr. Mahmoud ba me I see there be we any dey different. Mamu me am pikin chusu. The Mrane can make and because Crawford ya there. And as our judiciary na ye can and Crawford confidence no in the judiciary no form. And my massa credence no and my people who say they began at the Bibia akwa why bet ma predict it. Until now, you represent my memory, but you can't either a moment in us. Look, Nkoma Yedino, Nkrophobia, law students, almost yard, ADAKABRI. Additional Musiano, Mama put you in a very tight corner because and then Mujina way so can't say my China or Munim de Moka. Meanwhile, a woman said Supreme Court there, or to be departed from Omu earlier ruling. But Omu departed from Omu earlier ruling now. There must be cogent reasons. But some reasons here are by there. Mr. Omo, ye chichiri Ghana. Na Ghana na ye chichiri no. Omu me fa perepere ye de. Enye dwuma because ye wura my kokwe announce sa decision no. In 2020 no. Senka nanka ebe affect the MPP a. Enka omu nkasa. But no mu is still ebe benefit you omu. Until the same decision any afa so. Ye wura ADAKABRI. The American ina ne say nyame ya adoma speaker bagwen echina obeko minim de woni team but minim say we astute lawyer while rising through the ranks I a minority leader by a majority leader am my name ono no tiedwem as speaker onim say o minim say aduma na wo de no mpene mo bi pushing him no if it's any credibility ne integrity is at stake and speaker bagwen asem na waka no obedi su pepepepepepe and there so mo person mo de military bar Parliament House on there. And ya de be penama military bia because war obi ansi Ghana. Name Yoruba o me catch there say the shortest majority leader in Ghana was say ato forcing. Minim baby okoken kan free. Mo say ye pe majority ayenko police station. Hey. Ayana same wo ha ye so we of force anu ahwe wo dem. Tama na mo pushi the question out no. Na mo pe den na mo pe. Enu de na enye se mo pe city bia ka mo de ho. Adwene na mo de call ye na anye yi no nya sa adwene na ye adwene but emra mu no se bibi botia wa ye ntimi ka se botia wa automatically so bibi majority say oh e botia ho ntia na ye ma mo nye da bi ye se E11 no and the betting tax no ye first assignment ye pese ye no nti mu nta ye chi se mo dwene Ghana ho se de mo aka se afa de mo ba mo betwam na ye assuming majority there ye be start process no
aye sa taxes mu twetwam class na yakoto
ai omo so mo ba omo so betwam nti yenya start pe omo ni echi na omo kacha president say yes kura na omo support the president inside na yenya no pepepe na mom justice is ready e bi case ba it me 3 years e bi there 5 years e bi there ba a raise suspicion emwa Ghana man
okay right yeah that say na chairman and Stafayam of the Inshiasu constituency NDC ewa Asante and atene no earlier on so no Benjamin Isari, Trouble Constituency Youth Organizer of the MPP, and also Wekasai. Now, my yentie your friend saying, Fifi Oforiata. Now, Afra
President Achimfo
Alan,
senior advisor.
Yentie now hopes na do yesterday kakrabe kan wamano. The omukoko ye no ye Kumase.
First, the person chia. The incoming president, the 5th John, Honorable Alan John, Gojo Chematin. He's still in the Ashanti region. Now, I feel the ambassador, me bought running mate, KOD, so Abaso. Namichiano. They say, he was with us in Ashanti region. They say, Western region, or born to her. Now all the Ashanti region team, then modern ball, weekend nipa offer. And now some kitwa, you started from culture center, Benine Moedrum, KJTR, Central Market, Nemusa, Ebedru. Shopping mall as well. Now, Nipa, and you minimum of about 500,000. Most of them are volunteers, and yet, and it's just limited to Ashanti region. Now, before then, that MPP for or born in the desperation. You know what they did? First of all, there Wednesday, Thursday of last week, there was our press conference. Say encrophobia no ya franto they started the walk health walk no na ala approach you say we no onye mano work then na onye that say they are back to I mean, what kind of lie is that? MPP health work Alan Chawatini health work no. Yan started achieving for Alame. I was the convener in August of 2022. Chebi. That was the first work I did to say MPP for Adani copycats. So crown no your press conference. I know you don't change. They started sending bulk messages, SMS messages. Friday, say, oh, you work no cry. You suspend. They say you postponed it. All over the place to everybody. And so now buses, the social media, they also went on social media, saying spreading the same false way. Now for the buses, bookie. Only so my buses in they cancelled it.
Yeah, Ayalolo buses.
Ayalolo buses, you.
52 of them.
52 of them. First, I won't cancel after don't say on the May 20 the day when the night before till Abunya. But thanks to the Almighty God, the Tuminya splinters and Yasem Ketwa. Why are you guys so desperate and dynamics and that will even draws me to it? Would there be a abuse of power? The arrogance of power, just a more power. It's about me. I am not the address. I started reading here. Upo, tina. Alan Chemati. Okay, say. On the oya Santinio. Oh yeah. Asante mind this year. Ukuma pima pimbeba uninti ono also fear. No fear. No baboswana ye consuno overwhelming. Asante phone na say we dey your own diemu. Alan your own diemu. They are going to give him support. And yes, all Asantini Sukeko, he's a competent Asantini. Why you be that? He has integrity. Unquestionable. Be to me, challenging the integrity. He has credibility. He has empathy. He has vision for Ghana. And he's a Christ-like. He has all these Christ-like characteristics. It has Santifonse with their own honor all the second industrial city, economic city about Asantimemu, creative jobs, enterprise economy, and Abaya Yako offer. One watch about me. One watch about me. But what time is it? Alan's time. Well, watch for Alan's time. Watching
okay.
Well, Asantifona, you.
There's a business.
What time? Yes, because I land. Now, I bet you to young Nipa me some main people Baumia, Alana, John. That means probably saying, Patriotic for ni Oyamoto. Won't share presidential when you to my party. You to my individuals. That's what our constitution gives us there. Article 57. The president, no, and the president has all the powers. It's in the idea, don't pay me, sir. A bra or before they came to parliament, and also before they came to government, and also doing their role in government, you know, a dear brabo, a dear Yaman
less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Now, you hopes in Adoe. Director of Special Duties with the Movement for Change. And concluding Komoka.
Oh, yes, I can make issue. Very, very important.
I should say, Alan John Shrematin had the strategy of caravan walk and now or the buy. Now, caravan walk now or the buy. In the case of Asantino, 350 communities. And 47 constituencies. Since the Sebi Obeko constituency, capital. Now, wape a nipa near Yabasi Womana or Mabishiano constituency capital. No Mudim Kutahu, we are no my dispatch woman. We do a so no Abeko Manaso. And no chiche 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 15 minutes. Or call baby out. It's up 350 communities. No, or we no say or work. It is an asset more the buy no. atɔ masomdi a mommra na momegya me ɛno nti ɛna ɔde din no to so sɛ nkunimdie nanteɛ yɛmusa hopes na director communications sɛ saa strategy wei numbers na ɛbaayɛ no nkunimdie ɛna aba anaa commander yɛ mo ha
Eje Sominia.
commander na awie ho te sɛn
Nyankopɔn de atom yɛn.
350 communities 47 constituencies ɛwɔ asante mokɔ ɔma na so in the caravan walk ɛna afei deɛ ɔmomra na monhwɛ sɛ asɛm no tɔ wɔn aso mu a ɛno motumi aka sɛ nkonimdie no ɛna aba yi wohwɛ nipa ɛbaa yi a nkonimdie no abɛduru ampa
Oh, nkonimdie deɛ ɛda na kwan mu pɛpɛɛpɛ. Tese yɛbɛ to aba no bɛwie no na Ashanti region. I can tell you, say, Alan Belly did the vote in Ashanti region. In the sense, say, what ye in a we our car say, or crowded with the work. But, so weekend in the last, and then, or Rabantuma, I'm say, or more Rabantuma to say, our Moya Yinti, by Ochina, and I say, not just what we greater Kumatin in that is what in any edge ahafo. Na Oshe and Crofua ebe good the street of Kumasi a year enra. Na ADAKABRI kwa ye na obi cha ye video kakra de sene me na je say en Crofua omono ka culture center ho moti ho omuso shi omuja mani ade no na nya de ketwa. So na wonim BBC na MPP, you see, they are not strategic enough. You know, Omoka so muye bibia, omuye mahoda wa mahoje, adeno omuni muye. Number one, ye babe ye, omwanga sa hose, amamfo be pia papa. Eti, omusha siya ye propaganda se, NDT4 ana sponsor. Afi, ye gongo sha, mi oha do bide, ayibia seneme. Because ya memorandum na ye from Joseph Yami to Hope Sinadoye. Then is free. Me kwasia ya chochu iska go hoduma be 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Say eno ando mode sponsor and say MPP for pa. Asibu say eno anya yamomo. Ade bechi ama yako walk no anajo from midnight the messages omo ye SMS box messages and the ma ye supporters to cancel walk no cry ya cancel ya postpone eti date baba later any ade date me say edi asemuni tete messages no to so changumachi na me sorry gary we be for something and I'm here short video and I'm the two say ejanokre ye ko ejesa video na me ye two mu na enka dipa bebre grampo ebeka fia kate adenokra ta ya postpone no edi ati ba ni omu ye nyina achi omo anya video no anhwe anhu te program no e baso omo anti mama omo ka fie ni nyina achi no ADAKABRI hwe nipa e baye tete hundreds of thousands. So many idea no. I just say, what we go? Can say commercial bontin so a yes I work with kama. Eti be America say it has been successful and then we share the amount for ade Alan atumuna uti we say asantema wo muni mo de. Obuni mo de papa.
Nipa bi so de adwene bi ba say NDC for na de omu nipa bi afem mo e wa asante.
And I think about there. Some conform the family in a some better about my you.
And she said, this is for the man, you pay Busuno to be fair.
It is almost a 12 hour my idea. Would they should part a good street to do so? No, we never have a 12 hour my idea. I said, get the problem. You see, ADAKABRI, near or more, I don't understand them. Yay, Abba Fantofo. Who ya or Mudi, 99%. I am Crawford near no million hour MPP. I am free. Number be Brebena who was street in the I can tell you, say 99%. I am Crawford near no more and the war MPP, your free MPP mu, about for more upper pranto. What do I want to know?
Because Ababa will be Matilda sorry. Kumawood address no. Also nim de mu ye nyina na NDC for na afem more pebbles in the amamu.
Oyo banji say me bo break akra na manu anko pa ono so.
Okay de na you fancy as into nyina mu.
Wait 2016 2016. Na me wo turn on off. Woni eja ko beto me e wo dua ankwanta. Ani eni omo fa mu e de ko eya ye ni na mu ani e tan de ko turn south ye ko attachment ani ade. Me no. Rodo what you after you come out for Wukuma, so we are number one. Because happy before the BB banners were there, no, they are shadow. And you are no Agasano or no Agasano. The circus, no, want to me and convincing the Papa Crown Pamba. Sir, or nunti, and a Kuma would phone be black or could you Mahamachi. In a certain region here. And the Ogi guy got it there. Oh, Momana to tune a garden and Numukano. What do you want to no mum? The year catcher say, on ye na no antra a lanchamati because na no tra lanchamatia a dear de bayano or no one gasa over no. Then I no trana. Hey, but that will be the guy. Was it the Zuganka will be a noom? As so, Obia Menedia. The old decided over 2 dinner go be one. Or no daddy dear go one over who say yes. Sabi biche, I got to say more money. So that you know, why you careful? Why you careful? That propaganda no will not take them anywhere. Anna, Sayana, Yediamawa, Ober Baba bed disrespect any other day. Who shall someone who Kakra say Ghana party, yeah, discrimination, not the end. Discriminate, why the go find once and above ye? Why the go no for guys on the Fino with the Antomano? Why the go that you guys on there where you Muslim tea or Muslim or Betty or Montomano? The video I got the idea Dino Niati, Ashanti spirit in the Wodumu, and I'm mad that you must sustain ya. What's it? Won't you be that? Eh?
Okay.
Why you careful? Why you careful?
Ate, Commander, it was a pa. Whoops, and Adoye, and I attended. Right, back to Fifi.
Yeah.
That's a general issue, no, can be.
Yeah, general issue, can be, but just quickly. Also, and Tokwa, NDC, NPP, Kokwanti, the only solution, one of the solutions, key speaker, is say, or about the former government of national unity. It's the idea, you found whether you NPP ni, NDC ni, CPP, or be quiet, faith based, as long as you are competent. As long as you are competent, you have integrity. Unime jumano yeah, o drink Ghana first. I know it's a young fahu.
Okay. Ma afaya mumra mubi.
And we no kakra with the 5 minutes. Uko and one can be there. Uko there. And very quickly, like a baby more a few things. But first of all, there's this perception. Well, you say justice must not only be seen to be done, but also must not also be seen to be done, but to be seen to be done. If you're saying here, there's this perception, and your perception is reality. Say MPP, president that's stuck, especially the judiciary, with people they are sympathetic to MPP. There's no two ways about it because we share all the inconsistent rulings on the ballot. And yeah, Papa, and I share Article 57, 93, and 125, 57 deals with the executive. 93 deals with the legislature, and 125 deals with they are independent. Yeah, be independent. Montesquieu, the bar say, the power corrupts. Montesquieu, a French philosopher. Political, say power corrupts, and absolutely power corrupts absolutely. So in order to curb abuse and arbitrariness, we should have the three arms of government separated, and we should have what checks and balances. But I was stuck in court and all the inconsistencies. Yes, sir. Sir, for the only nipa, what's it? A friend is saying, Crawford, when would you on constituency there? Your friend is saying, their rights, human rights, will be affected. Sir, for the only nipa. I mean, Jason, question. Oh, no, ni wekeke, your man, no, there be no court. On the other, only representatives. Yet, sir, we no double standard, no. And your friend example. If you look at your friend Article 115, it clearly says freedom and speech, debates in proceedings in Parliament, and that freedom shall not be impeached or questioned in any court. When the Supreme Court is out of place, baby cry. I think Martin or is he injured? What is the way? We are standing. Or the court. Yeah, and Crawford affect you. And look around the Supreme Court. You take it to the High Court. That's what we deal with all election matters.
Okay.
Eti onya sir, your friend is simple. Goes in there. Your father and 2 years.
Okay.
The running up and say, as Santiman say, almost half pa say, I show mu Boshe be a share. 5 interchanges nka be 40 something days yanka ebe ko ina nka bia hodan komo cars na interchanges abosha na amem nti afesu so getra mu de ye adwuma wa Asantema no ni na ahye afesu so no economy no a breaki ya Asantema so mu hia se omampani bi beba no wa be create nyuma ma omo enu nti na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ekofa 24-hour economy na ba sempa na ode ba no enu ne the 24-hour economy. So ban shaye so a ye catch us 24-hour economy ni age so obi abenya adwuma ye ni aka biom 24-hour economy ye so obi abedidi ese 24-hour economy ye sika nko a ese 133 ese 24-hour economy say the mabunu de obi a kan se ye pedwuma ye ye nyanyuma ya economy no be den ebe grow se economy no so grow a na I expand na obi a den anya hotoso ba sa bre a ye ka say de ni da so ni ho nti Asantema magia tum say aban we ni de onko na aban foforo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama dano no omra no ye de akoye chi be 5 times na 5 times so say be ye betimi etumrika na ya ba be di enim ne ne nkrofo me di enim kan no ye say rane a 3 shift economy, and that is why me mesre me youth organize o mu say na kuma MPP de na emu monwene Ghana ho na on the 7th of December no on kan kire ni mamu say o ma ban no de o ma faili. If you say negalam say asem ye car president she Ghana for ball so the presidency are too online or the two online e failure and still others who dey there ye mu bi dey nya enwa if you say Nyankopon kra no ahye ne bo so besi asori dama no be akabosu me ba ko ne be na be du so no akọ edan won timi nsi say Nyankopon kra dada na woni padasani ene ye be ye wodai into obi amfa ne renhye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ene Professor Nana Jenopoko Ajima if you say National Development Women's Development Bank the bar in fact a be boa ma de akonka amuso konka ya yesu ya sumba drie as a member
va medase
Ben
over
it's your
ebra penny omunya so omo tete grandma no grandma ono abone bra wanyini mana sumunyo no na moya na mo de grandma so aba behwim na yesa mo tete offer Asantefo agitumu se New Patriotic Party ye no omo adi ni yie Asantefo hu se ye papa John Dramani Mahama obedi ade Sufoline interchange a President Kufo started ye wanye bibia amfa ho eja to ho sa 8 years one ye papa Atames ebebedi former president nyamemfa ne crazy ebedi akunwa no nya de a omo ye bibi papa bia ede ma Asantefo ne omo kan ne se Asantefo na omo kon omo asem no Ashanti region omo a ene to aba kese editi a John Dramani Mahama se oni Asantefo eni ni yie nti enough is enough nya de a ombesa ama na kwanya biem so omra madi oman no so ono ankasa ne sa betena Asantemam ebegina Asantemam ka se akokọ sachira kroma enye nefe se ye the gold kura be ye kwai e de ma Asantefo a enya de a omo ani be so e former president Mahama nsem o kan ni nyina Asantefo no omo ya we omo ni short memory se ne ya na ye papa kan se Ghana for ye short memory guy Asantefo de ye ni bi Asantefo ani aso sɛ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo bae amo new university ewo Kumase a me ne wo kasa yi na ebi ni Kumase na me ne wo kasa ebi wo ho asantifo ani aso because airport phase 2 a Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo aba be complete a phase 3 kura ye ba be start asantifo ani aso sɛ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo edwen asantifo apomuden ho na obae agenda 111 ene hospital ahodo a ɔhyɛ wa asantima mu me ne wo kasa yi duduo na wa asantima mu a almost 40 of them a ye wie sa hospital no wɔ asantima mu asantifo ɔmo ani aso ɔmo ani age ɛwɔ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo na mamu obebu no 8 years ana Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia ɛka ho ɔmo age atum sɛ Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia wabɔ Nana Addo Dankwa akyi dom yie ama ne nneɛma dodoɔ na wɔhyehyɛ yɛ no 1D 1F abam 1 district 1 constituency 1 ambulance Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ayama wokɔ asantima mu sesi a all the district ye were 1 ambulance for 1 constituency a ne bi nsi wo man no mu da me no wo ka say asantifo wo gidie mapa e wo Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ni New Patriotic Party emu yie enti no mu nyina di twi akwa kodi Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia say ono ene obi a ye betimi de wo man no ahye ne nsa kono ne ye papa nom ene ye nuanom afrafrantofo de da bia ba bia mehye ombia no
munduan ma ye akomokoyo
omo ye nuanom omo ye papa mpanimfo nti politics baby omo adu sesi ano omo ntimi nka bibia so omo beka sama ye ya papa Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen ye wehye omo we ne ebesi bia no omo nyame mo omo ho ban na omo nko omo anim na emomu no at the end of the day no 7th December ade a Ghana for be kyerɛ odosoro nko ade ama Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia
right
but we the atiefo we the very quick one say Ghana if akwa ye gina no enye kra both parties IMF to IMF what the accord they say we owe 760 billion Ghana cedis obiaka bia individual bia 22,000 80 and yes with negotiating with the IMF no on defer 2026 and say we start it here ever no go first can on we are uncle fafa and manifestos and free this remember free this visa and 4110 or 419 where 4110 more beyond your Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen on the great transformation plan he's going to move this country from taxation to production or the plan bibia wom eti muma menhwe na on the 7th no item 13 asie ho eti fa no form then asie ho
I am taxation to production maybe
that be on we say production that's what we are going to do eti we are bringing they say just so men je be say Ghana ye ni abro what do you ko share
okay yampa asida empa chairman Ernest Afayam or chairman of Insurance constituency in the Ashanti Regional Capital Kumasi NDC National Democratic Congress anemu that's na Benjamin Isari a Trouble Constituency Youth Organizer of the New Patriotic Party, NPP. Yasitinem, we are papa, say, Bebo de Uji Homena, we are born in Susua, yes, we nipa money, we within is yet any day baby, Miniakuta, and so what yana. Na your party dama, refuge for Riata of the Movement for Change, Afra Franto. Echna Onyan Group on trade them for Bema, Adiachi. Na Ghana betena se irrespective of whatever Ghana betena se ami atena Ghana mu na nipa ne bebre no na why investment ya umpe basa say ebegu ekufuo no and umpe basa irrespective echina Ghana besa atena se need FM betena se na ye di nsem ne nyina ade abrem abna moyi oni Olakoku Michael na omone DJ Foreigner edi dwuma ne yempa dam fama anyi Kwadwo dame ado ne Mark Jeros ajman ayi ma kwe free na abna prema abankro ne na ya asafo that wo mo hwe Usuneti Neat 100.9 FM
Sinsieni eti wunya adwuma wow chale media mabamu kra ye bu so ni sika wo de beje nsa no